Infiniti's cars may pack some proper good looks, but they aren't always at the cutting edge of new car tech. Thankfully, that's not the case with the new 2019 QX50 crossover, which makes its debut at the 2017 LA Auto Show. Infiniti started teasing the new QX50 back in January, when it debuted the QX50 concept. Not much has changed between that version and the actual production version. There's a powerful front end with a big old grille, sharp character lines and a dash of extra beefcake from the non-body color fender trim. Inside, there's a sliding rear bench that can expand rear cargo capacity from 31.6 cubic feet to 37 cubic feet. That number grows to 60 when you fold the rear seats down. That's enough room for 3 golf bags, in the event you're in charge of the carpool. But the most important parts of the QX60 aren't remotely related to aesthetics. Under the hood is the first production version of Infiniti's VC turbo engine. This gas i4 is capable of changing its compression ratio on the fly by adjusting the piston stroke, producing efficiency or power when it's needed. Net output is a meaty 268 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque, yet it's expected to deliver 27 mpg combined. For those of you keeping track at home, that's a 35% improvement over previous front-wheel drive models. The only transmission on offer is a CVT. In addition to its fancy new engine, the 2019 QX50 also marks Infiniti's first use of Nissan's ProPilot system. ProPilot takes control of the gas, brakes and steering to hold the car in a single highway lane, moving with the flow of traffic. It first debuted in the US on the 2018 Nissan Rogue, and it'll appear on the 2018 Nissan Leaf as well. You Skylined your Skyline GTR too hard and smashed into the back of an unoccupied Italian food truck. It happens to everyone, but now you need to replace some parts on your precious Mechagodzilla. I guess it's off to eBay to find some parts for your car. If this is you, you're in luck because Nissan has announced that they are starting to manufacture R32 Skyline parts again. According to Top Gear, Nissan is starting a new program called Nissan Heritage where they will be offering entirely new parts for older models. Nissan is doing this to let people avoid all the legally dubious methods of acquiring parts for Skylines. That means you can drop your reciprocating saw and cancel your trip to your local dock where they illegally import Japanese sports cars. This is not a new thing for car manufacturers. Earlier this year, Mazda announced that they would be officially restoring first-generation Miatas. I think that this is a very good thing for car manufacturers to do. It's always a pain finding quality parts when fixing up a rare or special car, and having OEM parts is almost always better than generic or aftermarket parts. Nissan will debut the newly manufactured parts during the NISMO festival this weekend. I wonder if Chrysler will start a K-car restoration program for my LeBaron? I doubt it, but I can still dream. At just over $46,000, the 2017 Nissan 370Z Nismo Tech we recently tested represents an incredible value for the money in sports cars. You just have to get over how boringly excellent it is. I wrote that last year when reviewing the 2017 Nissan 370Z Nismo Tech, and after sampling a $48,510 as tested 2018 version of the car, I can say that my mind hasn't changed one bit. As I noted last October, Z cars have been around for decades. The very first 240Z, badged as a Datsun, hit the streets in the US in 1969. The whole Z car idea, affordable, dependable performance and a two-seater, seemed to have run its course with the 300ZX. Production was halted briefly in the late 1990s before Nissan revived it with the 350Z. The 370Z Nismo Tech, the hottest version of the ride, is the latest and greatest. It might also be the end game, as there are rumors that Nissan could be sending the Zs to their final reward. That's a shame, but even though the 2018 Z is a slight update on the 2017, it is true that this platform is fairly aged in automotive terms. That was the case last year when we checked out the 6-speed manual, and it remained so this fall when we slipped behind the wheel of the 7-speed automatic. The 370Z has basically been around for a decade, and it shows. Sometimes in a bad way, with its unreconstructed mid-2000s glowing orangeness of instruments. But sometimes in a good way, such as when you lean into the marvelous 3.7-liter, 350 horsepower V6 and feel that sweet, naturally aspirated, all-motor power flowing to the back wheels. I tooled around New York and New Jersey for a few days in a pearl white 370Z and, no surprise, I had a fine time. The car's dinky, 7-inch touchscreen didn't scream tech. And the two-seater had no advanced driver assist features whatsoever. But for some fans of throwback piloting, that's all going to be perfectly cool. The base 370Z is only about 30 grand, but mine was thoroughly Nismo'd up. It had a Nismo-tuned engine, a Nismo engine cover, Nismo-tuned exhaust, Nismo-tuned suspension, Nismo alloy wheels, a Nismo shifter knob, Nismo upholstery stitching, a Nismo tachometer, and Nismo aerodynamics. Subaru's Ascent 3-row crossover SUV is almost here. The Tribeca replacement has been confirmed for this month's 2017 Los Angeles Auto Show and will be on sale next year, as a 2019 model. All we have is a teaser shot showing part of the tailgate. However, spy shots of prototypes plus a thinly veiled concept unveiled during April's 2017 New York International Auto Show and at what's to come. Subaru appears to be taking a fairly safe route when it comes to the Ascent styling, but the vehicle should stand out due to its sheer size. It will measure 198 inches in length, or about 9 more than the Outback. This should result in plenty of space for passengers in all 3 rows. The arrival of the Ascent will also mark the introduction of a new engine at Subaru. It will be a 2.4-liter turbocharged engine with the automaker's signature horizontally opposed layout. The engine will also feature direct injection, and naturally it will power all 4 wheels. Production will take place at Subaru's plant in Lafayette, Indiana. The plant is where the automaker produces its legacy, Outback and latest Impreza. The Ascent is about to enter a crowded segment with plenty of good options. The list includes the likes of the Chevrolet Traverse, Ford Explorer, Honda Pilot, Mazda CX-9, Toyota Highlander and Volkswagen Atlas. Stay tuned for the reveal on November 28th at the LA Auto Show. For further coverage on the show, head to our dedicated hub.
It feels like Subaru revealed the Ascent concept just yesterday, but the production version is already preparing for its debut at the 2017 LA Auto Show later this month. Subaru posted a teaser image to Twitter announcing the 3-row crossover's November 28 debut and showing off part of the vehicle's taillight and bumper. The Subaru Ascent concept was first shown at the New York Auto Show in April. The concept was a further refinement of the VIZI V7 concept that debuted at last year's LA show, coming in at a more realistic 198.8 inches in length. The concept took design cues from the rest of the Subaru lineup but blended them into a vehicle that looks way more rugged than the previous Tribeca 3-row ever did. Subaru says the Ascent will be powered by a new turbocharged, direct-injected 2.4-liter flat-4, but other technical details are slim at the moment. Production of the Ascent will begin in 2018 at Subaru's plant in Lafayette, Indiana, and Subaru plans to sell the crossover exclusively in North America. The Ascent will go on sale sometime in 2018 as a 2019 model year. Stay tuned for more details as we approach the 2019 Subaru Ascent's debut at the LA Auto Show.